All right, time for a midday market recap by Warrior Trading. So we're going to go over the trades from this morning and just review some of our statistics for the week. So this morning, looking at the gap scan right back here, we had a number of stocks gapping up, not very many gapping down, although it was in the context of the overall market gapping down. So if we look at the SPY, we can see right here, this was our close yesterday and we were opening lower. So we had a little bit of a gap down in the overall market. You know, that's not necessarily a big problem. I mean, it's just, we're recognizing that we are gapping down a little bit. We're on the 20 moving average support line. Actually, I'm sorry, that's the 50 moving average. And, you know, we'll keep, yeah, it's the 50. You know, we'll keep this on watch as the market is a little bit weak right here, but just the fact that we're gapping down by itself is not too much of an issue, especially when we have stocks that do have nice catalysts. So we had BRLI at the top of our gap scan, $47 stock, so not my favorite price. Dara, there was some news of a merger here, so again, this is a $1 stock, so a little on the cheap side, but not a lot of action on this one. You can see here just a little bit of sell-off, not too much going on there. AVEO, this had 2 million shares of pre-market volume, and I really liked this a lot, but I was concerned that there was actually too much volume pre-market and that we had already gotten parabolic pre-market. Like, we already got this squeeze here from 270 up to 308 and then pulled back down, and we were consolidating underneath our moving averages. Okay, so I didn't trade this out of the gates. I said, well, I like it over 308, the pre-market high, but we've got this support line here, and this needs to hold. Out of the gates, that support line breaks, and that's it. I mean, that's it for it. And, you know, I could have shorted this with a stop at the 291, but I just didn't have a strong feeling that I particularly wanted to short it. I just didn't want to be long. So no trades on AVEO, which unfortunately was our best gapper in terms of volume, float, and price. We had Gevo gapping down here. Gevo, this is a little bit of a tricky stock to trade. It's a pretty crowded name. There's a lot of traders in this stock on both sides. I liked it long out of the gates over 382. I didn't get filled here at 382. I tried to, I didn't get filled. Pops up to 391, gets rejected, pulls back very sharply. All right, so on this one, I got in at 390. That was right here on this candle, right there. I got in that at 390. I was looking for the break of $4. It pops up to 95 and then comes back down. I stopped out at 87. So that was no good. Then I got back in at 95 for the break of this candle. We pop up to 98 and we drop back down to 87. And again, I stop out at 91 because I didn't want to let this go too far against me. And this is kind of what this thing was doing. It was just sort of chop, chop, chop. And you can see on the 5 minutes, you know, not particularly clean candles. They've got these bottom wicks where it kind of washes out and then comes back up, washes out, comes back up. And that's just a little bit more difficult to trade. The way I trade, I usually take larger position sizes, and with a larger position, you have to keep your stops tight. So having this pop up 10 cents and then drop back down 10 cents, you know, this was still in range on the 9 moving average, but it just wasn't the cleanest setup. And my preference is always to have really small losses and get in a setup. And if it goes right away and I'm up, that's great, and I'll trail my stop. But if I get in something right away and it drops on me, it's usually better for me to get out rather than hold through the pullback or the consolidation. All right, so Gevo took 2 small losses on that, totaling $125. So it's not a big deal. 2 cents and 4.5 cents. So small losses on that. If I had gotten in this and it ran right away, it would have easily been a couple $100, but I didn't get that instant breakout, so I got out of the way. And that's again, the way I prefer to do it. So not getting clean price action on Gevo, which is no surprise. The stock is a pain. AMPE, This was the other one that we were watching out of the gates here. It's a little bit further down on the gap scan. $2.85, 36 million share float. Very light pre-market volume. Okay, so the pre-market volume on this is pretty light, but I said I like it over the high, 294. All right, so market open, sells off for a second. It does start to pop up. This isn't really set up for a 1 minute opening range breakout though, because there's not enough volume. We need the volume. So instead I waited for the volume to come in. We can see on the 1 minute chart here, the volume comes in right here on this candle. I get in at 295 for the move over $3. I double at $3, so I've got 298 average now. Pops up to 304. And then it instantly drops back down to 291. So on this one, I stopped out. It just couldn't hold up, and I got some slippage on the exit. So not, just a little bit disappointing. It was a decent setup, but light on volume, and it didn't have the follow through. Now, the last few days, we've had stocks that were very light on volume that caught a bid out of the gates and then run up 30-40%. And that's part of why I was being a little more aggressive and doubling up at $3, because I was thinking this looks good. I see the volume coming in. We had 250,000 shares in that 1 minute candle, 200,000 in the next one. So it looked like we were getting the volume that we've seen in the last few days has resulted in a big move. In this case, it came back down, stopped me out, so I lost 400 on it. I don't have any regrets on the trade. I don't think there's anything I did wrong specifically. I think it just didn't work out. And whenever I have trades where, I'm losing, I have to ask myself, well, is this trader error? Did I make a mistake, right? Because if I made a mistake, I need to address what mistakes I'm making. If I'm being complacent, if I'm letting my stops go too far, if I'm doing something wrong, I need to fix that. But if I take a trade and it's a good setup, it's my go-to setup, and it just doesn't work, that's no big deal, right? It's not emotional when you lose on a trade that was totally within your strategy. Even the best trading strategy is allocating a 25-30% loss rate. So you're going to lose a good amount of time. Losing is not a problem as long as your winners are bigger than your losers. There's no such thing as a trader that wins 100% of the time. So AMP, no big deal. It is what it is. Had a decent look, just couldn't make that red to green move and hold. Now VLTC, this one I was also watching for a red to green move. I was watching it right in this area here for the move over, let's see, 850. Okay, so our open was 847. So I was looking for this for the move over 850. We come up here to 837. Didn't have enough volume, we fade. I took it off my watch as we broke $8. When we broke $8 right here, I thought, I'm just taking it off watch. I look back a few minutes later and we're back up at 880. So I was like, wow, okay, this thing did make a red to green move. So I jumped in it right here. Okay. Was looking, okay, I saw it tap $9 and I thought, okay, this thing wants to run. Maybe this will be the one that's going to move. So I jumped in for the break over 890, got filled just under $9, got some slippage, pops up to 910. All right, now I could have sold half, but I didn't. And one of the reasons I didn't is because I didn't feel that I had enough profit to justify the risk of taking a trade in the first place, right? Because my stop was down here at 875. So being up 10 cents really doesn't justify the risk, right? For a 15-cent stop. I need to get 30 cents at least in order for this trade to make sense. So I wanted to see this up in 920, 930, maybe even get a push to 950. And I like the daily chart for this turnaround, right? Yesterday was a big breakout. Today we were breaking yesterday's high. So I thought it looked pretty good. Again, I end up getting stopped out on this. It comes up, it can't hold over $9, comes back down and stops me out. So $196 loss on that one. So total today is a $725 losing day. It gives back the profit from yesterday, not all of it, but a good amount of it. And that's, sure, disappointing, but it's within my strategy to have one losing day each week, and that day can be my max loss. So I have a $1,000 target each day, which means my max loss is $1,000. So trading wasn't as smooth this morning as I maybe have liked it to have been, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is build our accounts brick by brick. If you have a day where you break a brick or you knock a couple bricks down, that's okay. You just don't want to let it hijack your thinking and turn you into an emotional revenge trader where you start to get really aggressive, mismanage risk, and make mistakes. That's how you throw yourself a temper tantrum with your trading account and you lose thousands of dollars. So trading is all about maintaining your composure, being disciplined, rolling with the punches. That's part of the deal. So a little bit of a slow day. Thursday, it's my first red day of the week, first red day of the month, but of course it's early in the month. But otherwise, it's been a terrific week. We've had some really, really solid trades this week. The gap and goes have been awesome. We had ESI on Monday. That was a quick 10%, 11% winner. CDTI was 15%. BLFS yesterday was 8%, 9%. So those were all big steps forward. And today is a little step back. And that's what every trading account should look like. Lots of steps forward, little steps back. Lots of steps forward, little steps back. As long as you can maintain that trend, you can be a successful trader. So that really comes down to managing risk, learning how to pick the right stocks, and having a trading strategy that you can count on, that you have the historical data to back up and support. All right, so again, I'm sorry today was kind of a rough day. It's never what you like to see, but it's part of trading, so we'll just let it be what it is, and we'll come back at it first thing tomorrow morning. We know statistically the best chance for a $1,000 winner is between 9:30 and 10:30 in the morning. So is it going to happen this afternoon? Well, you never know, but most likely the winner will be tomorrow morning. So that's what I'm going to do. Look for a new trade tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a good set of gappers and we'll be able to finish off the week on a good note. All right, thanks guys.